Chapter 13, Lesson 1 and 2. Now we're going to be multiplying with decimals, so they'll have to know their multiplication facts, and we'll have to move the decimal to get our final answer. Here's an example of some of the problems that they'll be doing. 4 times 0.4, or 24 hundredths. First thing I want to do is rewrite this so it's easier to work out. This way over here is hard to do, so I always tell them to rewrite it with a bigger number on top. Now you just go ahead and multiply. 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. 4 times 0 is 0 if you'd like. Now what they have to do is move the decimal. So here we have the decimal point right there in front of two numbers. So that tells us that we must move our decimal 2 places to the left. So the decimal point is always going to be at the end of the answer, even though you don't see it, and you're going to move it over as many places as you need to. 1, 2. So your answer would be 0.96, or just 96 or 96 hundredths. But the most important part is to move the decimal. Next example is a problem that has a decimal in both numbers. Again, you want to put 1.2 times 0.3. And go ahead and work that out. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Now we look at both numbers. We have the decimal point here in front of one number. We have a decimal point here in front of another number. So the total is 2 spaces. So again, we start from here and we go to our left. 1, 2. So your answer would be 36 hundredths, or 0.36. We have 4.0.2, or 4 times 2 tenths. I like to put the decimal on top. Makes it easier, even though it's smaller than the 4. Okay, that's 2 tenths, and this is 4. So 4 times 2 is 8. And we have one number behind the decimal, so we move this over one time. So your answer would be 0.8, or on a test, they'll probably have it more likely 0.8. Either way is fine. And their homework page is pretty much the same thing. We want to multiply them and move the decimal over. I'll do number 5. We've got 3.1 times 0.4. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. And we got one decimal point in front of that, one decimal with a number behind it, another decimal with another number behind it. So it's a total of 2 places. 1, 2. So your answer would be 1.24. Hopefully this is enough. There's only 6 problems, so I'm going to have them work out the rest on their own. We'll go into Lesson 2 right now. Lesson 2 is pretty much the same. Numbers are a little bit larger than Lesson 1, but same concept. 2.4 times 6. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. And you look for the decimal, only one number. So we're going to move one place to the left. So your answer is 14.4. Lesson 2, the numbers are bigger. It just takes a little bit more work, but it's the same concept. So the kids need to just be patient and take their time and just do their multiplication. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry the 3. 8 times 5 is 40. Plus 3 is 43. Add the 0. 6 times 3 is 18. Carry the 1. 8 times 3 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. Add it. And then let's count our decimal right there. There's only 2 numbers behind it. There's none on the 35, so we need to go 2 places to the left. 1, 2. So your answer is going to be 30.1. Once we move it over, and if there's zeros behind it, we don't need them. We get rid of those zeros, so we don't have to put 30.10, just 30.1. Here's a big one that they see, and they get scared thinking, wow, that's huge, and they have to work it out. Actually, they don't. And then you look at what it's multiplied by, whether it's 10, 100, or 1,000, and you count how many zeros there are, and there's 2. So I'm going to add those 2 zeros right down here. Now I go back and look at my decimal, and there's 1, 2, 3 places. So I'm going to move my decimal 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. So your answer is going to be 8407.7. 8,407.7. No need to go and multiply 84.077 times 100, carry the 0, just add the zeros to the end of it, and then move your decimal over.